なぜ、ある女性は一言も発さなくても、男性を震え上がらせるほど強い影響を与えるのか？ユング心理学はこう語る。沈黙は言葉よりも深く無意識に届き、人を変容させる力を持つと。本当の意味で尊厳ある女性は、怒鳴らず、責めず、泣き叫ばずとも男性を罰することができる。彼女の沈黙、態度、そして揺るがない存在感が、男性の心に最も重い罰を与えるのだ。ある夫婦の物語を紹介しよう。夫は軽い気持ちで嘘をついた。今日は残業だよ、と言いながら、実際には友人と遊んでいたのだ。妻はそのことを知ったが、問い詰めなかった。ただ静かに彼を見つめただけだった。その目には怒りも悲しみも映っていたが、言葉は一切なかった。その沈黙が彼を最も苦しめた。彼女は何も言わない。でも、すべてを知っている。その気づきが彼を深い罪悪感と恐れで締め付けた。ユング的に言えば、これは影との対峙。沈黙は相手の影を映し出し、逃げ場をなくすのだ。暗い茶室。ろうそくの光が静かに揺れる中、女性はただ座っている。言葉はない。だが、その沈黙の中に、すべての感情が込められている。あなたは男性を罰したいとき、言葉で攻撃していないだろうか？本当は沈黙の方が何倍も強烈な影響を与えることを知っているだろうか？もし沈黙の場を使えたなら、あなたの関係はどう変わるだろうか？言葉は時に軽く聞き流される。だが沈黙は相手の無意識に直接響く。尊厳ある女性は沈黙によって男性に最も重い罰を与える。ここであなたに挑戦してほしい。もし私も沈黙を罰として使いたいと思ったならコメント欄に沈黙と書いてほしい。それはあなたが第一の真実を受け取った証になる。そしてチャンネル登録をしてこの旅を共に歩もう。次の第2のブロックではユング心理学が解き明かす無関心の力に迫る。女性が示す無関心ほど男性の無意識を揺さぶるものはないのだ。怒りよりも恐ろしいもの、それは無関心である。ユングはこう語った。人は他者の無関心に直面したとき、存在の根幹を揺さぶられると。男性にとって女性の無関心ほど強烈な罰はない。なぜなら無関心は、あなたの存在は重要ではないというメッセージを無言で伝えるからだ。ある恋人たちの物語を紹介しよう。彼は彼女の気を引くために、わざと冷たい態度をとったり、返事を遅らせたりしていた。いつも彼女は泣きながら問い詰めていた。どうして私を無視するの？だがある日、彼女は違った。涙も怒りもなく、ただ静かに彼から目をそらしたのだ。彼が何を言っても、彼女は淡々と、そう、わかったわ、とだけ答えた。その瞬間、彼は心臓をつかまれるような感覚に襲われた。彼女は本当に僕に興味を失ったのか？その恐怖は、言葉で責められる何倍もの重さを持って彼を打ちのめした。ユング心理学で言えば、これはアニマ喪失の恐怖。男性にとって愛する女性の関心は自己存在の支えだ。それを奪われたとき、彼は無意識的に自分を失う恐怖を感じる。広い庭園の中、女性は静かに池の方を見つめ、男性は必死に声をかける。だが彼女は振り返らない。その背中が彼にとって最大の罰となる。あなたは彼を罰したいとき、感情をぶつけていないだろうか？もしその代わりに静かな無関心を示したら、彼はどんな反応をするだろうか？彼は初めて自分がどれほどあなたを必要としているかに気づくのではないだろうか？怒りは相手に反発を生む。だが無関心は相手の存在を揺さぶる。 尊厳ある女性は無関心という沈黙の剣を使う。ここであなたにお願いがある。もし、私も無関心の力を使いたいと思ったなら、コメント欄に無関心と一言書いてほしい。それは、あなたが第二の真実を受け取った証になる。そしてチャンネル登録をして、この旅を共に続けてほしい。次の第3のブロックでは、ユング心理学が解き明かす堂々とした距離の取り方に迫る。距離を置くことこそ、無意識に最大の影響を与える場なのだ。人は距離を感じたとき、初めて相手の存在の大きさに気づく。ユングはこう語った。無意識は失われたものを強く求める性質を持つと。つまり、尊厳ある女性は怒鳴らず、泣き叫ばず、ただ堂々と距離を取ることで男性を罰することができるのだ。ある夫婦の物語。夫は軽んじるような態度を取り続けていた。食事の時もスマホを手放さず、妻の話をまともに聞こうとしなかった。ある日、妻は静かに決めた。私はもう彼に自分のエネルギーを注がない。その日から彼女は必要以上に話さず、必要以上に求めなかった。淡々と自分の生活を整え、自分の世界を大切にし始めた。すると、彼は次第に不安に襲われた。彼女は僕を必要としていないのか？このまま失ってしまうのではないか？その距離が彼にとって最大の罰となった。ユング心理学で言えば、これは投影の回収。相手に依存していた自分の影と向き合う瞬間なのだ。雪の降るには、女性は縁側に静かに座り、温かいお茶を飲んでいる。男性は必死に声をかけるが、彼女はただ遠くを見つめている。その姿は冷たさではなく、堂々とした自立の象徴だ。あなたは男性に不満を感じたとき、言葉で責め立てていないだろうか？もしその代わりに、静かに距離を取ることができたらどうだろう？彼は初めて、あなたを失う恐怖に気づくのではないだろうか？怒りよりも距離の方が無意識を揺さぶる。距離を置く女性は男性に彼女の存在の大きさを痛感させる。堂々とした距離は最も強力な罰となる。ここであなたに挑戦してほしい。もし私も堂々と距離を取れる女性になりたいと思ったなら、コメント欄に距離と一文字書いてほしい。それはあなたが第3の真実を受け取った証になる。そして忘れないでほしい。チャンネル登録をして、この旅を共に続けてほしい。次の第4のブロックでは、ユング心理学が解き明かす自分を優先する女性の力に迫る。自分を大切にすることこそが最大の罰であり、最大の魅力となるのだ。尊厳ある女性は誰かを優先する前に自分自身を優先する。ユングはこう語った。自己を大切にすることは他者を操る最も深い無意識的な力を持つと。男性にとって最も苦しい罰の一つは、女性が自分を後回しにしなくなった瞬間を目撃することだ。それはもう以前のように扱えないと彼に突きつける無言の宣告だからだ。ある夫婦の物語を紹介しよう。夫はいつも、君は家のことをしていればいいと言っていた。妻はその言葉を信じ、家族のために全てを犠牲にしてきた。しかしある日、妻は決めた。私は私を大切にする。彼女は絵画教室に通い始め、自分の夢を追い始めた。家事や夫の世話を完璧にこなすことよりも、自分の心を満たす時間を優先した。その時夫は初めて恐怖を感じた。彼女は僕を中心に生きていない。もしこのままでは、彼女を失うかもしれない。ユング心理学で言えば、これは自己の主張。自分を優先する行為は、相手の無意識に彼女を失いたくない という影響を刻み込むのだ。春の庭。女性は桜の木の下で静かに絵を描いている。男性は遠くから見つめ、声をかけられない。その背中は自由と尊厳の象徴として彼に迫ってくる。あなたは今まで彼を優先しすぎて自分を犠牲にしていなかっただろうか？自分の時間、自分の夢、自分の人生を後回しにしていなかっただろうか？もし今日から自分を優先すると決めたら、あなたの関係はどう変わるだろうか？自分を犠牲にする女性は忘れられる。自分を優先する女性は恐れられ、求められる。尊厳は、私は私を大切にするという態度から生まれる。ここであなたにお願いがある。もし、私も自分を優先したいと思ったなら、コメント欄に私と一文字書いてほしい。それは、あなたが第一の真実を受け取った証になる。そしてチャンネル登録をして、この旅を続けてほしい。次の第5のブロックでは、ユング心理学が解き明かす言葉を超えた表情の罰に迫る。女性の表情一つが男性に深い罪悪感と忘れられない印象を残すのだ。言葉よりも深く心をえぐるのは女性の表情である。ユングはこう語った。顔の表情は無意識の言葉であると。尊厳ある女性は怒鳴らなくても言い返さなくてもただ一つの表情で男性を罰することができる。その表情は彼の無意識に直接突き刺さり、罪悪感と恐れを呼び覚ます。ある恋人の物語を紹介しよう。彼は約束を破り、彼女を待たせたまま遅れてやってきた。以前なら彼女は泣きながら問い詰めただろう。だがその日、彼女はただ静かに彼を見つめ、微笑みをやめただけだった。その表情は冷たい怒りではなく、深い失望を示していた。彼の胸は締め付けられた。彼女を裏切ってしまった。その無言のメッセージが彼を何日も苦しめた。ユング心理学的に言えば、これは象徴的表現。表情一つが男性の影を突きつける鏡となり、彼を変えざるを得ない状況に追い込むのだ。薄暗い部屋の中。女性は何も言わず、視線を少し落とし、笑顔を消す。その静かな仕草が、言葉以上の罰となって彼の心に突き刺さる。あなたは彼に不満を感じたとき、怒りの言葉に頼っていないだろうか？もしその代わりに、一つの表情でメッセージを伝えられたら？彼はあなたを二度と軽んじられなくなるのではないだろうか？言葉は聞き流されることがある。表情は無意識に深く刻まれる。微笑みを消すだけで彼の心を揺さぶれる。ここであなたに挑戦してほしい。もし私も表情で伝えたいと思ったならコメント欄に表情と一文字書いてほしい。それはあなたが第5の真実を受け取った証になる。そしてチャンネル登録をしてこの旅を共に進めてほしい。次の第6のブロックではユング心理学が解き明かす予想外の沈黙の逆転力に迫る。話さないことでこそ男性は最も強く揺さぶられるのだ。人は言葉を浴びせられると防御を固める。だが沈黙の前では無防備になる。ユングはこう語った。沈黙は意識を超えて無意識に届く最も強い言語であると。尊厳ある女性は怒鳴り声や長い説教ではなく予想外の沈黙で男性を罰することができる。その沈黙は彼に自分の行動を直視せよという無言の命令となる。ある夫婦の物語を紹介しよう。夫は軽率な言葉で妻を傷つけた。君は大したことないよ。以前の妻なら泣きながら怒っただろう。しかしその日、妻はただ静かに夫を見つめ、口を閉ざした。数分の沈黙が夫にとっては数時間にも感じられた。なぜ彼女は何も言わない？彼女はもう 僕を見限ったのではないか？その恐怖と罪悪感が彼を夜眠れなくするほど苦しめた。ユング心理学的に言えば、これは影の投影の回収。沈黙は相手の影を浮き彫りにし、逃げ場をなくす鏡となる。冬の夜、いろりの火が静かに燃える。女性は正面に座り、ただ黙って火を見つめる。彼は何度も言い訳をしようとするが、彼女は応じない。その沈黙が最も重い罰となる。あなたは彼に怒りをぶつけすぎていないだろうか？もし今日から予想外の沈黙を選んだら、彼はどんな反応をするだろうか？沈黙の重さに耐えきれず、彼が自ら反省する瞬間を想像できるだろうか？言葉は防御を生むが、沈黙は防御を崩す。予想外の沈黙は男性の無意識を直撃する。尊厳ある女性は沈黙を最大の武器にする。ここであなたに挑戦してほしい。もし私も沈黙を武器にしたいと思ったなら、コメント欄に静寂と一文字書いてほしい。それはあなたが第6の真実を受け取った証になる。そしてチャンネル登録をして、この旅を共に続けてほしい。次の第7のブロックでは、ユング心理学が明らかにする女性の背中が語る罰に迫る。振り返らずに歩き去るその一瞬が男性の心に永遠の痛みを残すのだ。言葉よりも沈黙よりもさらに強烈に男性の無意識を揺さぶるもの、それは女性の背中である。ユングはこう語った。人は失われたものの姿に最も深く惹かれると。振り返らずに歩き去る女性の背中は男性に失う恐怖と取り戻したい渇望を同時に突きつける。ある恋人たちの物語を紹介しよう。彼は彼女を軽んじ、都合のいい時だけ連絡を取った。以前の彼女なら泣きながら追いかけていただろう。だがある日、彼女は違った。彼が心ない言葉を投げた瞬間、彼女は静かに立ち上がり、何も言わずに背を向けて歩き去ったのだ。その背中には怒りも涙もなかった。ただ、尊厳と冷たい決意だけがあった。その光景は彼の心に深く刻まれた。彼女を失うかもしれない。その恐怖が彼を夜も眠れないほど追い詰めた。ユング心理学で言えば、これは喪失の象徴。背中はもはや振り返らないかもしれないという無意識の恐怖を呼び覚ます。夕暮れの参道。赤い鳥居の奥へと女性が一人静かに歩いていく。男性は必死に呼び止めるが、彼女は振り返らない。その背中は彼にとって最大の罰となる。あなたは彼に軽んじられた時、泣いてすがっていないだろうか？もし沈黙の背中を見せたなら、彼はどんな恐怖を覚えるだろうか？その一瞬が彼にあなたを失いたくないという感情を植え付けるのではないだろうか？言葉ではなく背中が無意識に突き刺さる。振り返らない姿は失う恐怖を呼び覚ます。尊厳ある女性は背中で最も強い罰を与える。ここであなたに挑戦してほしい。もし私も背中で語る女性になりたいと思ったなら、コメント欄に背中と一文字書いてほしい。それはあなたが第7の真実を受け取った証になる。そしてチャンネル登録をして、この旅を共に続けよう。次の第8のブロックでは、ユング心理学が明らかにする無言の品格に迫る。姿勢や佇まいそのものが男性の心に永遠の罪悪感と憧れを残すのだ。女性の最大の武器は言葉や行動ではなく品格そのものである。ユングは語った。人は無意識のうちに相手の態度や佇まいから最も深い影響を受けると。尊厳ある女性は怒りを爆発させなくても静かな品格で男性を罰することができる。彼女の背筋の伸びた姿勢、 落ち着いた佇まい、それ自体が男性の心に強烈な罪悪感を植え付けるのだ。ある夫婦の物語を紹介しよう。夫は軽率に彼女を傷つける言葉を吐いた。以前なら彼女は泣き叫んだだろう。しかし、その日彼女は違った。静かに椅子に座り、背筋を伸ばしたまま夫を見つめ、何も言わなかった。その堂々とした姿に、彼は自らの幼稚さを突きつけられた。僕はなんて小さな人間なんだ。その一瞬、彼女の品格が言葉以上の罰となり、彼を沈黙させた。ユング心理学で言えば、これは象徴的影響力。人は無意識的に相手の姿勢や態度を通して深い心理的影響を受ける。月明かりの差す和室。女性は正座をし、凛とした姿勢で座っている。その静かな存在感が相手を圧倒し、言葉を失わせる。あなたは彼に対して感情的に反応していないだろうか？もし感情の代わりに品格ある佇まいでいられたらどうだろう？その一瞬が彼に永遠の罪悪感と尊敬を植え付けるのではないだろうか？品格は言葉以上に無意識に響く。姿勢や佇まいが相手を深く罰する。尊厳ある女性は無言の品格で男性を制する。ここであなたに挑戦してほしい。もし、私も感情を支配したいと思ったなら、コメント欄に支配と一文字書いてほしい。それは、あなたが第一の真実を受け取った証になる。そしてチャンネル登録をして、この旅を最後まで共に続けよう。次の第10のブロックでは、ユング心理学が示す最終の力、沈黙と尊厳の統合に迫る。言葉も感情も超えたそのあり方こそ、男性にとって永遠に忘れられない罰となる。最後に残る最も強力な罰、それは沈黙と尊厳の統合である。ユングは語った。人は統合された人格の前で、自らの影と向き合わざるを得ないと。尊厳ある女性は感情に流されず、言葉に頼らず、ただ自らの存在そのもので男性を罰する。彼女の静かな姿は、男性に自分は彼女にふさわしいのかという根源的な問いを突きつける。それこそが無意識に最も深く刺さる罰なのだ。ある女性の物語を紹介しよう。夫は繰り返し彼女を軽んじる態度をとった。以前なら彼女は怒り、涙を流し、言葉で訴えていただろう。しかし彼女は変わった。沈黙を保ちながらも、背筋を伸ばし、自分の世界を堂々と生きる姿を見せたのだ。家族、友人、自分の夢を大切にし、彼だけに縛られない。その姿を見て夫は打ちのめされた。彼女は僕なしでも輝ける。その気づきが彼の無意識を最も強く揺さぶった。ユング心理学的に言えば、これはセルフの象徴化。自己を統合した女性は、もはや罰するために何もする必要がない。存在そのものが男性に最大の罰と気づきを与えるのだ。夜明けの富士山のふもと。女性は静かに立ち、朝日を背に受けている。何も語らないその姿が全てを物語る。尊厳と沈黙の統合が最も強い力となる。あなたは今、彼に自分を証明しようと必死になっていないだろうか？もし何も言わず、自分の尊厳を生きるだけで彼を罰せるとしたら？その沈黙と尊厳を手に入れたとき、あなたの関係はどう変わるだろうか？尊厳は言葉ではなく、存在そのものからにじみ出る。沈黙と尊厳を統合した女性は、男性に最も深い罰を与える。それは恐れであり、同時に強烈な魅力でもある。ここで最後の挑戦をしてほしい。もし、私も沈黙と尊厳を統合したいと思ったなら、コメント欄に尊厳と一文字書いてほしい。それは、あなたが第10の真実を受け取り、 この旅を完了した証になる。そして、もしこの物語が心に響いたなら、チャンネル登録をしてほしい。ユング心理学の知恵を通して、これからもあなたを尊厳を生きる女性へと導いていくからだ。最後にもう一度問いかけよう。あなたは言葉に頼り続けるのか？それとも沈黙と尊厳を統合し、忘れられない女性として輝くのか？その答えは今この瞬間のあなたの選択にかかっている。
Almost everybody associates what they want with the resistance of yearning. And so we want to clarify something. When you give up resistance, sometimes it feels like you've let go of your desire, but you haven't. You've let go of the resistance of the desire. Does that make sense to you? It's not that you've stopped caring. You don't stop caring because once it's in the vortex, the larger part of you is caring really a lot. It's that you've just associated caring with yearning. So don't say that you've stopped caring because your desire is not only still there, it has evolved. And so as your inner being is calling you from where you are to where you want to be, depending upon your level of resistance, your desire does look different. For example, let's say that you want prosperity, but you've been believing for a long time that you don't have the right occupation, or you don't have the right education, or you don't have the right placement in life, so you've got beliefs that don't allow you to move freely to this desire. So your inner being is calling you to the desire, but you can only translate it through the lens of your beliefs. So it changes continually. The more resistance you let go of, the more open-ended it all feels, and the more you begin to believe in the bigness of everything that you desire. So I'm getting closer to clarifying what I want, closer to vibrating in harmony with what I want, closer to getting what I want, closer to being in the receptive mode so that I am moving along to that sweet spot of what I want. Translating thoughts to things. Let's clarify this. So you've been putting things in the vortex, and now it's bubbled into some significant, what you want to call dreams, or what some want to call goals. There's a lot there, and it's big. You're putting more into it, more definition into it, more intricacy, more specifics into it. So it is morphing. But it's not changing so much that we even need to call it changing. It's just being shored up. It's just transmitting a stronger signal. It's just getting itself to be more ready for you to be ready for it. So the question isn't about what it's doing. Let's not talk about whether it's changing. Let's talk about your path of least resistance to it. Now, this was a new conversation that we just began having today in this strong way. It's your readiness that is changing, not your dream. Your dream is changing, but it was big a long time ago. In other words, it's time for you to begin letting it be yours. It's you that's changing. So, are you getting that? It's you that's changing. So if you could stop being unhappy about the situation that is causing you to make the change to get to it. Oh, there it is. Instead, you want to bless this resistance because that's what's helping you to make the change in you that's getting you all the way to these things that you really want and to all that you want to be. If you heard that, we are so happy. You are the one changing. You are becoming less resistant all the time. And you know how you're becoming less resistant? By moving through resistance. As you move through something that feels like a struggle, you make more definition about who you are and what you want. As things don't go quite the way you want them to, you more clearly define what you want. Now here's the thing. Your definition is not changing that. That's already there. What's changing is the resistance in you. Did you hear it that time? What's changing is the resistance in you. So you really want to say, just bring it on. I'm eager to learn. I'm eager to know. I'm eager to grow. I'm eager to become. I'm eager for whatever it takes for me to line up with this. And then, of course, do all the things we've been talking about. Talk about that. Talk about that. Talk about how you think that might feel. Use all the good words and all the good visualization that you can about it. But most of all, just chill out. Step 3 is your primary work. Step 1 is ask. You can't stop doing that. Step 2 is source has already answered and the vortex has already been created and your vibrational reality already exists. Step 3 is the get happy part, the let go of the cork part, the feel as good as you can feel part in any moment that you can. Step 4 is get really good at step 3. That's all step 4 is. Step 4 is just being really good at step 3, mastering step 3, which means care so much about how you feel that when a thought comes, and they will, that don't feel so good, that you deliberately divert your attention. And then step 5 is our favorite step, really. That's where you're no longer mad at yourself when you're back in step 1. Because of what we just said, you understand the value of contrast. You understand how important the contrast is to the change in you that is necessary for the matching with what you've already created. We've never said that clearer. And yet, you're so quiet. And so, sometimes contrast comes because there was contrast before that you gave your attention to. So you let the earlier contrast sort of set your thoughts. You sort of were responding more than you meant to thoughts, and then more contrast comes like it. But in any case, every time contrast comes, there's clarification of desire. And anytime there's clarification of desire, there's a higher probability that you can hold your thoughts on what you want. There are many ways to approach life, but we're going to point out for you 2 basic approaches. And you fall into both categories. All of you fall more into the first category than the second, but these are the 2 primary categories of creation that most of you are experiencing. First one. I know what I don't want, so I know what I do want. I know what I don't want, so I know what I do want. I know what I don't want. I really don't want that. I know what I don't want. I really don't want that. Others don't want it either. A lot of us don't want that. I know what I don't want. I really know what I don't want. I don't want that, and I don't like this about it, or this about it, or this about it, or this. I want that, but I really know what I don't want. And so what happens is, I know what I don't want, which causes you to launch another rocket. But you know what you don't want, which causes you to launch another rocket. But you know what you don't want, which causes you to launch another rocket. So you've got this great expanse, this big time tug of war going on. And then finally, you know what you don't want, and you're so sick and tired of that you launch this huge rocket that gets your attention for a minute. But you can't get there easily because this is where your practice is. But that was so big that it calls you in a really strong way. But it's a really hard path because you've put so much resistance on the way. So it's really interesting, isn't it? The whole time that you're building this vortex that will call you, and in fact, a lot of the stuff that you've built your vortex out of is resistance. The very resistance that was necessary for you to build what you wanted is the resistance that holds you back from it, if you're not a good focuser. But if you're a good focuser, every time you know what you don't want and you know what you do want, you give your attention to that. So this is the distinction. You launch a rocket, you know what you don't want, you launch a rocket, you keep doing that. So there's a big extreme. It's like pulling a rubber band back. And when you let go of it, it goes really far. You say, oh boy, am I a good creator. That's one approach. That's what most of you do most of the time. Here's the other approach. Know what I don't want, know what I do want. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I like that about that. That's really good. Know what you don't want, know what you do want. Oh, how lovely is that? I can think about that and talk about that. Yeah, I can line up with that. Know what I don't want, oh yeah, how lovely is that? Yeah, I can do that. Not the drama you like. It's not the drama you like. It doesn't get the attention that you think you want. Nobody's going to write a book about you. You have to suffer really a lot before they'll write a book about you. You have to overcome terrible stuff. But you can play it any way you want. We recommend a combination of all of that, but more of this, more of staying in your lane, more of feeling the rumble strip. When you get into your car, you know where your lane is. You know that you don't want to try to occupy the same space as another car. And when your wheels are on the rumble strip, you just naturally correct your steering. You don't make a big deal about it. You don't call someone, the rumble strips are here. I'm on the rumble strips. What do you think it means? What do you think I should do? I don't know. I don't know how they got here. I'm sure I was watching what I was doing. I'm just sure I was watching what I was doing. Nope. It just came out of the blue. Nope. Rumble strips are right there. What should I do? All four wheels are on the other side of the rumble strip. Yeah. That ever happened to you? Really? What happened? Oh, I'm in the ditch. What should I do? What? Watch the bridge? What? Getting a new body is so time consuming. Once you go over that cliff, it's trouble. Where all you had to do is feel the rumble strip and do what you naturally do. You just correct your steering. You don't make a big thing about it. You accept it as guidance and you utilize it well. We want to point you in the direction of your vortex so that you can feel the bigness and the wholeness of it. So it helps when you accept, and many of you have, that it's logical that you've created this vortex, and so therefore isn't it logical that you've created a collective one, and isn't it therefore logical that what's happening on planet Earth and what future manifestations will be has everything to do with what's there now. So we just want to point out that there's always been a whole lot there, and that the evolution and expansion of all species, especially the human species, has been a wonderful thing, just like you all planned it being. But now this is your time. It's why so many, including us, are calling this the time of awakening, because it's the time of consciously focusing yourself in alignment with what you have vibrationally created. So the feeling of joy is more pervasive. The feeling of hands-on creating is more pervasive. There's more joy, more hands-on joy, more feelings of hands in the clay, more feeling of freedom, more sense of autonomy, more sense of right place, right time. And yeah, more manifestations that those counters will look at and use as their explanation of humanity and society and what's gone on, but they still are missing the big picture. And the big picture is the collective vortex, because that's where that world peace is that you all want. That's where that harmony, that's where that absence of disease is. That's where the everyone being able to eat. That's where the absence of hunger is. You see what we're getting at? There is so much more that humanity has been seeking. But what is humanity? Humanity is only the culmination of a whole lot of humans who are individually focused and asking for themselves personally, but it has created the vibrational existence of that which you want to call source. So it has created the vibrational existence of the potential for human allowance. But there will always be a gap between what you've created and what you have allowed. If you as an individual can allow yourself to say and mean, nobody else has to figure this out, I've got it. And if you can not feel the need to convince them all, or even to convince a lot of them, if you can just know it and live it and let it be demonstrated to you, then through the clarity of your joyous example, others will catch on too. Ooh, we felt the gasp in the room. Don't you like knowing that all that you seek already is, and that source stands focused on that, and that law of attraction is responding to that powerful beingness? Doesn't it make it certain that it will be for you, for any one of you, at any time that you allow it? And if you can just resist the need for everybody to get it before you get it, then you'll have it. See? If you can not lament those who don't get it or aren't understanding, if you can not push against those who are waiting for it to be manifested and then they're counting the beans of what's being manifested. If you can be the vibrational being that you were born being and that you were born to be, then, oh, what a sweet, 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 sweet moment after moment after moment after moment after moment you have. And all anxiety just falls by the wayside because you know everything's always working out for you. And not just you, yous. Everything's always working out for yous. For yous. Everything's always working out for yous, for us. Everything's always working out for all of us, you see. And so, oh, isn't that nice? Don't you like knowing that? When you have an active desire, your attraction power, your point of attraction is more vivid. More things are happening. There's more momentum in your experience when you are clear about what you want. Sometimes you hold back on what you want because you've come not to expect what you want to come about. You've come to expect desire that is slow in coming or not coming. And so when we ask, do you know what you want, what your current active desire is? Sometimes you say yes and aren't really a vibrational match to it, so it doesn't feel so good. And sometimes you say yes enthusiastically because you can feel that you are somewhere close to the vibrational vicinity of what you want. We come to this forum as representation of the larger non-physical part of you. You are so much more than your physical personality, but many people don't know that. In this body, you're an extension of non-physical, and that being that you are an extension of is actively involved in every moment of every day that you are here in this body. And the way you feel as you move through your days, moment by moment, conversation by conversation, thought by thought, really, the way you feel is really and only about your relationship with you. It's about how your energies are lining up. As you share this planet with so many other people, it feels to you that what you're feeling is a lot about what they're doing, how they feel about you, how you feel about them. But really, those are only points of focus that point out to you in an emotional way what your thought is in this moment about whatever it is you're focused upon in relationship to how your inner being feels and is focused about the same thing in the same moment. So it's the relationship between you and you that matters. We want to say it's really what matters the most. We almost want to say it's what matters only, because until you get that squared away, until you are consciously aware of the relationship between the physical you and the source energy you, the soul you, the source you, until you've got that figured out and you know what your guidance system is telling you in any moment in time, then you are undoubtedly, like many people, having a sort of rough ride because you're observing all over the place with no defined by you reason for what you're looking at or why you're looking at it or what you're talking about or why you're talking about it. Most people are not very deliberate about these things. But when you figure out how to be deliberate about these things, then life becomes really good for you. It feels so much more satisfying as you're moving through life experience. And that's why a gathering like this, where we have an opportunity to talk with you about the things that you want and to help you come into vibrational alignment with the things that you want, then a shift takes place within you. In this gathering, we talk endlessly about law of attraction, and we talk about momentum, and momentum and law of attraction are really the same conversation, aren't they? Aren't they? Are they? Because when you think about something, law of attraction brings you more like it. And as you ponder that, law of attraction brings you more like that. And it doesn't take long before there's momentum about that. And that momentum is the excuse you all use for not thinking deliberately. It's the reason that you often offer a vibration that you don't mean to. When you think a thought for as little as 16 seconds, we used to say 17, for as little as 16 seconds, another thought like it joins it. And in the early stages of thoughts, that's so subtle, you hardly notice the increase in the momentum. But if you're able to stay non-contradicted on that thought, whether it's a wanted thought or an unwanted thought, in other words, the way you contradict an unwanted thought is with a wanted thought. The way you contradict a wanted thought is with an unwanted thought. So if you're off on the wrong foot in the morning and you're thinking about things that you don't want, and as you're thinking about that, then another thought joins it. Every 16 seconds, another thought joins and another thought joins until in a little bit of time, really in just over a minute, you have enough momentum going with that thought that you could, if you were aware, you could discern the vibrational harmony between the way you're looking at that thought and between the way your inner being is looking at that thought. In other words, in a minute of focusing, you can feel the emotion that you're feeling. You're either feeling lighthearted and happy, which means you're in sync with your inner being, or you're feeling more defensive, more vulnerable, maybe more angry, more pensive, more frustration. Those emotions come fast. And as you become aware of your emotions, that means, whether you know it or not, you are aware at some level of the relationship between you and you, which means your guidance system is now working for you. If you don't allow yourself to be real about your emotions, if you mask them, if you pretend that you feel differently than you do, it doesn't change your point of attraction, but it does make you less likely to become deliberate in the way you present your thoughts to the world. Now, your thoughts matter so much. Your thoughts are about, sometimes they are thoughts that you've generated because it's a topic that you've been focused upon. Sometimes, and most often, your thoughts come in response to something that you are observing in your, what you want to call real life, manifested life experience. So we just want to point out to you briefly, we know that you've been listening to us for a while, many of you, and that this is repetition to you because we begin every seminar with this conversation. You are the creator of your own reality, and law of attraction is responding to you. So when you think a thought, and another thought joins it, and another thought joins it, and another thought joins it, in time, these thoughts that come about, because law of attraction keeps presenting to you other thoughts that are like the thoughts that you're offering, before long, you have a belief going. A belief is just a thought that you continue to think. And in time, you come to absolute expectations about things. So much so that you could have two people in a room who have been looking at things a different way, and they could look at the same set of physical manifested facts, and they could have two entirely different responses to it because your expectation really rules the day. And we've not said this to you before, but your expectation and momentum are really the same thing too. What you expect is really the momentum of the thoughts that you've been thinking. So when we say to you that you create your own reality and you do it through your thoughts, sometimes that makes you feel like, well, then I need to change my thoughts because the things that I'm getting that I don't want, I need to change my thoughts so that that doesn't happen anymore. Or the things that I'm not getting that I do want, I've got to change my thoughts so that I do get those. And yes, of course, on a very rudimentary level, that's exactly right. You do want to change your thoughts so that they match up with more of the things that you want. But you can't just decide that you're going to do that and go out and do that without an understanding of how the laws of the universe work, and, friends, without some practice, without some deliberate practice about things. So we're just going to say something really bold and blunt to you. And that is that you just can't get there from here. And so we've enjoyed this interaction immensely. Good luck with this. And what we mean by that is, if you have a vibration going which is bringing whatever it's bringing, and you are an observer of what it's bringing, then that's just a continuation. That's momentum that's going to keep happening. It's going to cause you to come to beliefs about things. A belief's just a thought you continue to think. It's going to cause you to come to expectations about things that you just can't get around. Because when you expect something, that means you've got a strong practiced vibration about it. And even though you would like something different, you can't get it. You've got to change the way your thoughts are flowing. And law of attraction isn't going to let you change the thoughts that you're thinking easily. So what are you going to do about that? In the early days, we talked about a process called pivoting, which is simple at its face. In other words, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And that's a wonderful thing, because as you have that contrasting life experience, what you do want is formulating in a magnificent and sure vibrational environment. We call that your vibrational reality. We began calling it your vortex, your vibrational vortex, because we want you to feel the realness of the gathering of vibration around the things that life has helped you to know that you want. I don't want poverty. I want abundance. I don't want sickness. I want wellness. I don't want rudeness. I want niceness. I don't want confusion. I want clarity. But the thing about that is in the moment of the experience, which is making you most aware of what you don't want, you are creating the other end of that vibrational stick. Because a really, really, really good problem, while it is becoming, causes a really, really, really good solution to come simultaneously and in proportion. Your new desires are born in an absolute commensurate fashion to your problems. If you've got a really good question, a really good answer is formulating. That's what creation is. That's what you knew you were contributing to when you decided to come into this body to begin with. But the thing that is important for you to understand is that while you are moving through the contrast of life and acknowledging, really creating, and really improving, you might say, which sounds weird, improving your problems, which means growing them, getting them bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger with more definition. You are also simultaneously creating the growth, expanding solution to that. But humans don't know that. The source energy part of you is reveling in everything that you are creating over here on the solution end. But you usually are over here so determined that you are going to solve this problem, that you are going to wrestle it to the ground. You're going to identify it. You're going to discuss it with others. You're going to join groups about it. You're going to compare it with other problems that are like it. And while that is all really good for the universe at large, while that is really, really good for what's happening in your vibrational reality, which you could find alignment with if you knew what you were doing, it's usually not so good for you because you just keep growing the problem. And as you grow the problem, you don't feel so good. We would like that to be an easy thing that changes within you. We would like you, instead of feeling unhappy with yourself because you've created a problem, and unhappy with yourself that you don't feel good because of the problem, we would like you to feel appreciative of your problems in the way that we are appreciative of your problems, so that you then could pivot to the solution. The key to deliberate creation is understanding that you have to have some contrast in order to ask for more. And more is what we are all about. The continuation of existence, not the elimination of existence. It will never be eliminated. It will always continue. The question is, are you going along with the solution that you've created while you've been exploring the contrast of the problem? Step one is contrast causes you to ask. Step two is you launch a solution into this vibrational reality, and your inner being joins the vibration of the solution and holds a steady focus upon it, so that it's there for someone who gets into the receiving mode to receive. Is it going to be you? Maybe. It depends upon your ability to cease the resistant thought that is keeping you vibrationally apart from the solution. Do you understand what we're saying?